going from this
to this.
Yep, we moved. I'll lead you through my thought process on how I'm planning on initially setting up my new shop. There are a bunch of reasons why we did move, but basically, our needs changed and so a new place was in order. If I do a video on that, you'll see the card pop up. What that means for me is that there's a ton of new work to do since the house definitely is a fixer-upper. That was a trade-off between the larger amount of property we ended up getting. Along with that was a bunch of outbuildings that'll probably get torn down. But what I hope to turn into my dream shop is a 24 by 60 pole barn sitting back a little bit from the road. But it is going to need some serious work. Right now, the usable, and I use that loosely, part of the building is 24 by 24 with half of it open to the 15-foot vaulted ceiling. The other half has a loft above, making for a cozier 8-foot ceiling. It closes up the space a bit, but I'm planning on adding a bunch of lights. Maybe the loft ends up as my office down the road, but it will begin as storage for our different holiday decorations. The remainder of that building is currently stables and covered in a few inches of mud and horse crap. So in focusing on the usable portion, I've been looking at a bunch of different possible layouts. It is weird to think about how to utilize the space, as my first 2 years of woodworking has been shared with vehicles. It feels like it's a different mindset. It seems that most people lean towards setting up machines to allow moving the lumber from raw to finished in a circular pattern. It makes sense then that I would start my setup in the same manner. The table saw, bandsaw, and router table will be next in close proximity to each other for breaking down the pieces. I'll group those in the open area with the goal of being able to more easily set up desk collection. The open area should also allow me to maneuver what would be larger pieces without hitting things. Of course, as I was going through this, I realized I didn't leave a spot for a miter saw. Since my brother and I currently share it, I wouldn't want anything permanent, but I could put that along the far wall. I would do something custom to give myself some storage as well. The small overhang at the back should be perfect for an air compressor and dust collector. I'll probably end up enclosing that, though I could also see creating something outside to get back that interior space further down the road. A workbench and hand tools should be perfect under the loft near the wood storage. That leaves me with the corner space by the stairs open. For that space, I'd say maybe an assembly area, but it might be too awkward. It would be out of the way during glue-ups, but I'm not sure I'd want to move finished pieces from there. I'll have to see how that works out. Regardless, I'm thinking of changing how I store clamps from a wall rack to a mobile rack. That way I can wheel them wherever needed. I would like to have the shop insulated eventually, so I'll probably start with rigid foam and then frame with 2x4s. I'll probably go with sheetrock as the finished covering for cost, though if I can find plywood inexpensively, maybe I'll work that in as well. I haven't really thought that part all the way through yet, but I'll be researching the options. Insulating would allow for heat and hopefully for keeping it cooler in the summer, but I'll have to do a lot of work on the barn door first to make it much more airtight. Once I'm able to start cleaning the other parts of the barn, I'm thinking of maybe creating a finishing room and or maybe a small metal working area. The last bay could be storage and an area for a tractor or other motorized equipment, and maybe for working on the cars. All I know is this process is going to be a long one.